What's up, everybody? Chris here with another exciting episode of Chris's Arcade, and today I am so excited to introduce today's celebrity guest. He's an actor known for The Adventures of Pete and Pete, All That, The Mighty Ducks, and even Grand Theft Auto 5. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the one and only Little Pete, Danny Tamberelli. Danny, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Dude, it's going great. I'm so excited you're on the show. I mean, Danny, you are like the 90s poster child for Nickelodeon.
Well, depends. Maybe 2.0. You know, there was the Canadian wave first, and then Clarissa and I would duke it out, maybe. But she'd always win because I'd never hit a woman, actually. So this never happened. I never did that. Listen, Joan Hart, I swear.
Now, before we get into The Adventures of Pete and Pete, Figure It Out, all that, all the Nickelodeon days, I want to go back a little bit and just ask you to tell us how you got started in acting and what was your first gig?
I mean, I was on Pete and Pete when I was 7, so that was very close, within a year. I started when I was 6, so before Nickelodeon, I did a bunch of commercials. And that's it. And then I had an audition in New York for Pete and Pete, and I did it, and the producer and the director came out, and my mom thought I was going to get in trouble because they usually don't come out when you've done good. They usually come out when they're like, "This kid knocked over the tripod and broke the camera." But I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all. I guess I did a good job. So they came out and said that they wanted to use me. And use me Nickelodeon did for a good 12 years.
It all started last February when my brother Pete and I went door to door looking for work. Instead of raking leaves, washing cars, we had another quality service to offer. Check the yard for landmines, Mrs. Buell?
Landmines? Did you say landmines?
For only $49.99, we'll check the whole yard.
I don't think so, boys.
You can never be too safe when it comes to landmines, ma'am. New record!
Now, on The Adventures of Pete and Pete, you played Little Pete, and your brother was actually played by Mike Morona. Are you guys still friends?
Oh, yeah. We do a podcast once a month together still. Called The Adventures of Danny and Mike, which, we thought that was the best way to get the point across. Call it that. And we just go on adventures and we talk about it. We usually have a comedian or musical guest.
And where can we find that at?
You can find that at dannyandmike.com. In fact, let's see if I'm at my desk here. Is there one around? Oh, hell yeah, there is. There you go. Let's see. There you go.
That's awesome. The Adventures of Pete and Pete, man. I mean, it was just such a huge piece of my childhood and I mean, everybody's childhood. And it was just so ahead of its time.
It's finally strange. You looking happily, dearie.
Oh, totally. It should never been on Nickelodeon. You know, it was very much left of the dial, and it was definitely a kid's show, but it was kind of not a kid's show, but it also had this way of like combining things that kids would think are funny and things that adults would think are funny, and it was a good way of getting the whole family on the couch watching TV without everyone being like, "Oh God, if I see another," I don't even know, something. I didn't really watch TV much with my parents. We watched the same things. Twin Peaks.
Right on. The Adventures of Pete and Pete was such a successful series. Out of all of them, are there any that are some of your favorite episodes that you enjoyed working on?
Well, there were a few really awesome ones. Getting to slide down a block of ice, or on a block of ice, down this mountain in well, I thought it was a mountain. It was really a big hill in New Jersey, but I mean, in the middle of summer, I really rode down it. I don't know how, you know, that my mom should have been upset, more upset than she was. She was happy to see me fly down a hill. I could have hurt myself very badly, but you know, I guess it worked out. That was a really awesome thing. And the show Hard Day's Pete, I say it a bunch just because I play music now and play bass and play guitar and play in bands and stuff. The Hard Day's Pete episode was very influential to me because it just, sort of struck a chord. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it feels like you're looking down from a baby angels are found. And if you seen all I done.
What I think is so cool about the Adventures of Pete and Pete is all the time they would have like musical celebrities on there, like Michael Stipe from REM and even Iggy Pop, man. How was that working with Iggy Pop?
Well, yeah, I mean, he was in a few episodes. Iggy Pop was the kind of guy that he was on set we had him for one day, for one thing, and he had a lot of fun, and he asked to come back, and he asked to stay, or he asked to be in other scenes. He was like, oh, I'm done with my scenes for the day, but, I could hang around and do something else if you want. And so they like write him into another scene just so Iggy Pop would be there because he liked it that much. But yeah, he taught me how to play that song TVI, which is a Stooges song on Funhouse. And we were playing it on my little amplifier and we blew it out, which is still pretty rad. Still have the amp. Won't get rid of that.
That is so rad, man. Now, a lot of people may not be aware, but you were a huge regular on the series The Babysitters Club.
Yes.
It made me lose my place, Jackie. I was just laughing all the way. Cut it out.
Okay, let's play from this part, okay?
Jingle bells,
Ring the bell.
cookies.
Yes, I was. And when I was younger, I sort of tried to keep that on the DL. And then I got to college and realized that all these girls watched it. And I was like, oh, this is actually a good thing. So then I don't mind. Now I don't mind as much. People don't talk about it often, but I'm glad you did because I'm still like, oh, okay, no, it's still cool. It's still cool with me.
It's totally cool, man. I mean, that show and book series was so successful. I mean, I would be so happy to be a part of that, you know?
Hey, I was the punk little kid that they had a hard time babysitting. So, guess it could have been worse. I could have been the kid that, was forced to play imaginary tea time.
I got to share a really quick cool story. I was actually at Staples a couple years ago, and I noticed that this guy working there had a tattoo on his arm, and it was a Petunia tattoo, the one exactly that you wore on The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Nice.
Do you ever see people out there with Petunia tattoos?
I have. I've seen a few. We've done some reunion shows in the last couple of years where we'll do like music and do some scene readings and just sort of shoot the shit about the show and maybe ask, do a little Q&A or whatever. But yeah, there are people that come to those shows that come up to me and they're like, look what I got. And some of them are massive and a lot of them are pretty good. Like, I really haven't seen any like, that's a weak one, pal. So people actually care about Petunia, and that's nice.
Now, you had to have a Petunia tattoo on every episode of The Adventures of Pete and Pete. How did they do that? Did they just have a bunch of stick-on tattoos ready for you every day, or what?
Well, they had like a bunch of them that were fully colored and everything that were just like temporary tattoos. And then they ran out of them, and so they got stencils, and then they had the hair or the makeup lady just come on and put temporary tattoo paint on them. But it got to a point where there was like a moment where they weren't hip to doing that yet, and they just had the color stickers and they were running low, so they would make me like not shower. Well, I would shower, but I'd have to put like saran wrap on my arm and like try not. I had a very dirty forearm. As an elementary school kid, my forearm was more dirty than clean.
Now, as the years went on, you were on a bunch of other Nickelodeon shows, and Figure It Out was one of my favorite Nickelodeon game shows.
Mm-hmm. Guilty.
One of the words in the answer head plays Blink with bare feet. Danny, what's that right next to you holding on to? He's so cute, isn't he?
It's my little teddy bear.
Pick it up, let me see it.
You want to see my teddy bear? Here, I want it, come on!
Is there anything you particularly liked or disliked while working on the set of this show?
Honestly, man, I have no dislikes. Everything was super chill. Everyone was very cool. Everything I did was very, very copacetic. It was very chill. But I guess I didn't like taking 4 showers a day because it would always slime me. So every time we'd shoot 4 shows a day. So if I got slimed in every episode, I'd have to take a full shower and come back to hair and makeup, dry my hair, do all the thing again, and go back out. So I guess that might be the most unpleasant thing about it. But the best thing about it was just improvising. I mean, it was just, you were literally just trying to guess and make people laugh, and it was a lot of fun.
I want to take a moment and talk about All That. All That was like a Saturday Night Live for kids on Nickelodeon. And you were actually on the show quite a bit.
Yeah, the last 4 years of the last 3 years of the first season.
I mean, you just don't see shows like that on TV for kids anymore like that.
No, I mean, they're definitely not like a true kids sketch show. And it really was like an SNL for kids.
Good things come in small packages. Ooh. Maybe not.
And hey, look where Keenan just he made the high school to college jump, or the college to professional jump, being on the actual Saturday Night Live. But yeah, it was great. It was a really great experience. I got to write. I was a writer on the last season, so it taught me a lot about, creating sketches and proper format and the whole thing. And I have a sketch group now called Man Boobs Comedy, and we just make videos and pitch shows and stuff. So
now, Danny, you have done a lot of voiceover work. Tell me and the viewers some of the programs that you have done voiceover work for.
Well, I was on this ABC Saturday morning cartoon called Fillmore, which is like safety patrol, is like maybe like Brooklyn Cops or like New York Cops type thing. And I was Anza, Joseph Anza, and then I was in the Magic School Bus. I was everyone's favorite whiner, Arnold.
Wait a minute. This is too good to be true. What's the catch?
Meet your substitute teacher.
Liz? Could be worse.
See you very soon, Arnold.
And most recently, I did the voice of another whiner, Jimmy from GTA 5.
Good to see you, my man.
And you too, dude.
Call me Big J.
No.
Oh, this is awesome, bro.
It's being trill.
The trillest, dog. I love you.
Okay.
Like a brother, I love you like a brother. We're so close, I feel like we used to get baths together.
Well, we didn't. And I certainly ain't getting in the tub with your ass tonight.
Oh, that's too bad.
Grand Theft Auto 5, man. I mean, how did that all work out? How did they just contact you or what?
Oh, they totally blindsided me. I didn't know what it was. I went in for an audition for like a independent film is what they said it was. And then I got a call back for it, and then I booked it, and then I got all these, this big of a stack of papers that I had to sign with non-disclosure agreements, and they still wouldn't say what it was, but I knew it was Rockstar because that was who was sending me this information, and I was trying to like put two and two together, and I was like, well, Max Payne had just come out. It was like, all right, it's not that. And I was like, this could be GTA, and then they started sending some of the scripts and seeing Los Santos and all that stuff. I was like, oh man, this is totally. And they wouldn't acknowledge that I knew what it was for a while, even though we all knew, but it was just like, it was that hush hush, and they're that, you know. Hey, they know how to run a company, keep everybody guessing, including the talent.
I mean, dude, were you just like super stoked or what?
Oh yeah, definitely. As someone who grew up playing video games, being in a video game, and it's not just my voice, like it's the full everything. It's the mocap, it's facial recognition. They had a little camera just looking at my face, and just, you know, so it's all my expressions and everything. So it's very, very kind of surreal, you know, growing up and playing Street Fighter. That I'm, you know, drugging my dad in a cutscene.
Come on, do this shit and let's get going.
Oh, yeah, you got that other thing? Oh, yeah. Oh, all right, later on.
Careful with that.
Hey, let's bounce. So, want a drink?
I'm driving.
Because normally you're such a between the white lines, friend to the pedestrian kind of guy.
Fine, give it here.
I'm starting to feel a little woozy.
You're fine.
No. Really, this is not
Chill
normal.
out. You're just paranoid.
This is not paranoia.
We're stealing a yacht and having my dad trying to come get me. My friends love doing that. It's like one of the first missions. And they just like trying to kill me. Just, you die. They miss getting me in the car. Get text messages. Yo, I just killed you, bro.
Now, is it too much to ask for you to give us a little sample of Jimmy from Grand Theft Auto 5?
Only if you're going to get like a quarter pound of weed from me, because that's the way we do business here, okay? My name is Jizzle, J-Dog.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome, dude.
I mean, it's basically me with just like a, you know, raised voice a little bit to make him more whiny. I just sound more stoned all the time. Not entirely true, but I'm just saying. It's that lackadaisical voice versus, you know, this one. Chipper and fat. You know?
Now, I've gotten to know Aaron Schwartz over the past few months, and during an interview, we got to talking, and you guys played in the Mighty Ducks together.
I've known Aaron, yeah, since I was like 9 years old. I'm 34. So I'm going on a long time now.
And then we got to talking about music and the adventures of Pete and Pete because Aaron was on Pete and Pete quite a bit with you.
Yeah, no, he was. Clem was one of my buddies. He was the drummer in my band. In the Blowholes. He was Clem, the drummer in the Blowholes.
So then we started talking about music and whatnot and talking about you, what you're up to today. And he told me that you were in a really killer band called Jounce.
Oh, that's very nice of him.
So naturally, I had to look you guys up. And man, let me tell you something. You guys are badass, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we like to have a lot of fun.
Is that what you wanted? You take a picture for me in the heat of the moment.
Tell us how Jounce started.
Oh, Jounce has been around for a while, and so Aaron has heard many different variations of the band. We started as a quartet with a keyboard player and very much reminiscent of like Medeski, Martin, and Wood, kind of like hippie, jazzy, jam music. And then we became a trio without the keyboards, and sort of the funk kind of left, and I started going back to my like old school punk rock roots, like late 70s kind of New York, television and all that stuff. And we just got a little less jammy and a little more rock, and then we've sort of just continued on that angle of being, we're pretty much a rock band, but we do improvise and we do jam out, so we do still play like hippie festivals as well as just playing like normal rock shows, doing that kind of stuff. Get like a 1994, like we say, like we sort of sound like, your college, your Midwest indie college town circa 1994, but with more like rhythm based sort of rock.
Danny, who are some of your biggest influences in music?
That's a very tough question. I love so much music. Everything has influenced me except for top 40 country.
Me neither, man. I cannot do country music. I just can't.
It's the only genre I just can't get behind. But Brian Wilson was a huge influence. Some of my favorite bass players are John Entwistle, John Paul Jones, like that whole era. Mike Watt is probably my favorite, like, States bassist.
Victor Wooten?
I love Victor Wooten. He's great. Yeah, he shreds. A lot of people shred. O'Teal Burbridge, he shreds. But I like, I like so much music, man. Like, I think the Pixies are up there as one of my favorite bands. So Kim Deal is a great bass player. The Meat Puppets. We can go on and on. We can do this all day. You give me a genre and I'll give you some. It's like, oh, you want to talk about funk now? It's like, well, the Herbie records with Mike Clark playing drums are probably my favorite. Thrust and Flood. Did you say jazz? Well, I'm into the Max Duke and Mingus record called Money Jungle. If you don't know that, it's a great record. It's just them as a trio and Duke Ellington just crushing piano style. It thinks he's Thelonious Monk. It's great. What else did you say? Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying that's myself.
And dude, as a bass player myself, Stuart Zender from Jamiroquai was one of my favorite bass players. I just love Jamiroquai, and I still play to Jamiroquai all the time, man, to keep my chops up. You know what I mean?
Dude, that bass player was sick when they had a bass player before they decided to just use a synthesizer. John Kay, that was a bad move, man. Not cool.
Now, Polaris did the intro song to The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and they were just so awesome, man. Did they influence you at all? That's my son. Go on over there, buddy.
That was excellent.
Now, Polaris, they kind of had that 90s grunge. I mean, it was kind of grungy. It was in that era, just that 90s Portland rock kind of vibe, man. Did they influence you at all?
And I've always liked, Mark Mulcahy is a huge influence musically on me, and I'm happy that we've kept in touch. And he would call my house and talk music with me when I was like 12 or 13 years old. My mom picked up the phone, she'd hear like a man's voice, be like, "Is Danny there?" What? Oh, hey, Mark. He would send me mix tapes and mix CDs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, their Polaris is great, and Jounce actually played a show with them in Chicago at Lincoln Hall last year, October of last year.
And one thing I have to admit, I've been pronouncing Polaris incorrectly all these years.
What did you say?
I've been pronouncing them Polaris.
Polaris. You could call them that. It's like I'd call Engelbert Humperdunk instead of Engelbert Humperdinck. Whatever. Doesn't matter. If any kids out there catch the Engelbert Humperdinck reference, I'm proud of you. That's how old I am. I make Engelbert Humperdinck jokes.
Danny, tell us where we can follow you at online.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a quick list. All right, musically, Jounce.org is my band, and we tour a lot. We do a bunch of stuff. I play in a funk band out of DC called Midnight Spaghetti. You can go to midnightspaghetti.com. I play with them a bunch, all down in the Southeast and stuff. I have a weird jazz project called Middle Blue that plays in New York. And we've had Mike Clark, the drummer from Herbie Hancock's band, play with us. He'll sit in on occasion. It's a kind of cool collective out there improv thing. And I play in a Weezer cover band called the Undone Sweaters. So you can go to theundone.sweaters.com, and they have a web series that I just became a part of. So you should check out that web series because it's really great. It's for comedians who are overly enthusiastic and obsessive about Weezer. We only play the Blue Album and a couple songs off of Pinkerton because those are the only songs that matter in the Weezer catalog, in our opinion.
Well, Danny, I cannot thank you enough for being a guest on Chris's Arcade, man.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Hey, tell if you speak to Aaron, tell him I say hey.
I will, buddy, for sure, man. Talk to you later.
Take care, man. See you.
How cool is that? Danny Tamberelli from The Adventures of Pete and Pete, all that, Figure It Out, Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, that was amazing. And guys, check out their music. Jounce, it is, I'm telling you, it's awesome. They are just killer. I had no idea he was in that band, and it's so worth checking out. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. We got some great episodes coming your way. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you guys can see those episodes in your inbox. I'm Chris with Chris's Arcade, signing out.
Mario.